decisions on time and then approach your workplace. It happens, but it can never stand as an excuse on why you will not get something done. It's the last shot for this week, and then interesting developments in our dear country, Nigeria. Well, it's been a long walk with workers in Nigeria. 1981 showed 1,500 naira. 1991 showed 3,000 naira. 2000 showed 5,500 naira. 2011 showed 18,000 naira. And 2013 showed 18,500 naira. 2018 showed 30,000 naira. There are arguments this morning already that the president can easily change his mind from the 70,000 naira where they are pegging it at the moment. But let's see what will happen on Tuesday next week. That's how I want to welcome you to today's edition of the program Standpoint. Once again, the saint of all talks of politics. Nigeria's elections appear to be a field of for no longer political gladiators, but now movie actors, people who act action movies where you exchange bullets and all of that. We'll focus our interest this morning on the elections violence and the place of the people. Edo situation in focus on Standpoint this morning. Corruptible Sam, it's good to have you join the program. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Moses Ben. And, well, I know, definitely. There is no way someone will not be feeling cold out there. It's the season. I keep saying it. It is the season. Don't just say, oh, this rain again. Yes, it is the season. So the only thing you need to do is to prepare. Just like you said, Ben. It's not an excuse.
No.
That you not get to work today.
Did you see what happened to me this morning?
This is when some managers, if possible, if you're working in a place where the CEO comes to work every day. Remember that today is 19th. And the month is running. The month will still end. This is where some CEOs will come to work before you. They have cars now.
They do.
They will come, they wait. You're coming
and
now.
They will stand at a strategic point and they'll be monitoring events and activities.
Oh, this is how you come to work every day. You think he's trying to be caring. But don't worry.
Deduction is waiting for you.
Deduction definitely will happen. And well, it is what it is. It's not easy to be a staff or to work under anybody at all. But, well, career will drive you to that place. Some people have businesses, but they still do this one we are doing because passion drives. So the rules and regulations, try to keep it. A very good CEO too, boss, we understand that this season, sometimes you want to, overlook some things. But
and assist in certain areas. Don't
also abuse it as a worker. You wake up in the morning, instead of you to start preparing, you are praying for rain to fall so that you tell Oga why you came to work late. Remember, Oga came to work too.
So if Oga could come to work, what about you, the
worker? You need
to
be there. All right, and we are here. Let's still say it. Thank God. It's Friday.
I didn't want to say that because the rain dealt with me this morning.
And we are here, definitely. The labor, finally. We have.
I'm afraid you're saying finally.
I say, no.
They can wake up tomorrow now and then something else
No, they won't. I will blame Ajero because he has actually come out to say this is why we accepted 70.
That's what we want to look at this morning.
So for them to come out, because when I heard the news yesterday, I was like, okay, let me hear from Ajero himself. He came out to confirm it. That means if he comes out again, we'll ask him what his problem is. Because some of us, I asked, okay, 70, why? I thought they would push to 80, maybe 100. But if they said, okay, we are going with 70.
He also divulged somehow that the president wanted to accept the 250,000 naira, so but with a clause. Well, when we get to that point.
Okay, that was a clause. Okay, we'll get to that point, definitely.
We'll
we will do that. And, well, good morning to you if you're listening to us. Welcome.
Ike Bonaya, it's good to have you join the program. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother, Moses Ben. As a matter of fact, I was feeling somehow when I looked at time. I said, wow, where's my Oga? Well, thank God you're here, and thank God it's Friday, even though it's a cold Friday. And we know that the code obviously must have prompted most of our listeners to stay glued to the radio, so that they can listen, and then
It doesn't still take away the fact that you must take care of your responsibility.
Absolutely. You just have to do that. You just have to do that. So we thank God for his goodness and mercies.
All right, a drama played out in Edo State yesterday when the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, talking about the 2024 upcoming election in Edo State, arrived at the airport with the reinstated, according to the report. But the State House of Assembly, Edo State, has appealed that judgment, talking about stay of execution. Would concentrate this morning deeply and squarely on that matter. Let us understand exactly what comes up whenever we're having election in any part of our country. You see men, instead of them to behave and showcase themselves as leaders, people want to assume position of responsibility, serving the interest of the people, behaving as if they were acting movie. Well, that's by the way. Let us concentrate and talk about the good news within civil servants in Nigeria. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, says the federal government and the leadership of the organized labor have agreed on 70,000 naira as the new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. The minister said the agreement was reached at a meeting between President Bola Tinubu and the leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress yesterday. NLC President Joe Ajaero and also the TUC boss Festus Osifo later. Labour Minister was there, that's Nkiruka Onyejoche, and other officials from both sides flanked the minister. Joe Ajaero's incorruptible self has come up to say that, look at, the president told us that there will be a review of minimum wage, maybe in 3 years or 2 years, which was one of the reasons they considered they accepted that agreement. Is this a win-win for the organized labor in Nigeria? They've come a long way. They've worked hard to ensure that this turns out to become a reality. This is where we are standing at. No longer 62,000 naira, no longer 250,000 naira, but the subject today, as of today, is 70,000 naira. Additional 8,000 naira to what has been or what was on the table.
Definitely. I know it was not going to get to the 500 and the 200 and something, but well, personally, I even expected it to be higher than this. But well, that's what dialogue we always bring. It will end on your own. It will also end on my own. But at the end of the day, we must agree on something. Well, if that is one of the reasons or the clause now, they should hold him. I hope it was really written, boldly written, and signed by both parties. Well, the next 3 years, he will actually be talking about second tenure.
And what is the possibility that this party would assume leadership position after 2027 general election?
That's the big question now, because 1 year gone, we are into.
You're counting 2 years
months
already.
Yes, and 3 years now. That means the first tenure must have ended. The first tenure of Tinubu would have ended. Then he will campaigning to retain. Yes, we have that mentality in Nigeria. I don't know who showed that to us. That as far as you are an incumbent, you have the higher percentage of winning. They can do it anyhow just to make sure they remain there. 8 years is not what we do. Even some of us, some callers, we even tell you, don't worry, 8 years. No, it's actually first 4 years. If at all we practice what we preach, it should be first 4 years. Then we decide. The people now will decide whether you will continue or not. But here, whether you did well in your first 4 years or not, the second fourth year, you will also decide. You will now tell the people that you must be there. So that's the issue. But on that, let's see what will happen. Like I said, I hope it was really written. Here in Nigeria, we don't do continuity. The next government will come in there and start saying, no, this thing was actually agreed under the previous administration. Because we are talking about Confab 2014. I still blame the president then for not pushing, using your power, knowing that, yes, second tenure, like I said here, is not actually in your hands. Anything could have happened. After the confab, you did not push it, you left it there. We have not used it. Buhari came 8 years, he left. Tinubu, I don't want to believe that he even talk about that, because he has a plan. His own plan is, once people complain, you share rice, share beans, share money. That's what he will continue to do.
Or you write again to the National Assembly for approval of the Amendment of Appropriation Act.
It's very obvious that is his own pattern of government. I don't know how we are going to survive till this first 4 years elapses. So if Joe Ajaero, if that one of the reasons they accepted this is okay, after 3 years, there will be a review. Some of us joined the places we are working today because of that also. No, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. The company said, no, we can't pay this. Don't worry, just come. We will do salary review. It happens everywhere. So if that's the case, no problem. Only that some places
I understand.
That salary review when they come.
And it takes years.
It takes years to happen.
And they'll keep consoling you.
Yes.
Don't worry, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Something is being done. I
I
think.
hope they will not tell Labour this way after 15 years.
But, it's a good one. They've arrived at this point. I go Bono, your reaction to this Labour, they've told, Peter, who told that he met Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And there's told him.
Cast it to the deep.
Finally, this is where they are at the moment. It is a good one, given the economic reality on ground at the moment in Nigeria for Labour.
Well, it's fair. Let me use the word fair. They tried, given the retinue of criticism that trailed this agitation.
All right.
You know, they were criticized from all corners, and then Ajero stood his ground. I'm sure he must have looked at different factors, different realities on ground. You know, sometimes when you're negotiating, you bring the reality on the table, and then when it dawns on you, you have no choice than to shift ground. So I guess that's what obviously transpired, you know. And then, well, the negotiating team on the side of the federal government would have said, look, Labour, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. And then, as you know, an organization that wants the country to move forward, you want to shift grounds. And say, okay, fine. If you have said it will be reviewed again in 3 years' time, fine, let's look at it. But of course, we know that federal government has never honored their promise. You understand? So it's going to take another agitation for them to revisit it. So they have never honored their promise. You know, I've never seen a situation in this country where you just stay, you know, just on your own. You hear the government is reviewing wages. Wow, just without being prompted. Do you understand? Without being pushed around. It does never happen. So Labour will simply sit back and then re-strategize on how to also come up with another threat. Just threaten to go on strike after another 3 years. You know, but beyond that, like people have variously said, we would want Labour to now begin to look into other areas of the economy. It is time for us to begin to mount pressures so that, you know, this government can begin to look at the workability of their policies. You know, as it affects helping the economy to come up. Right now, the economy is comatose. So Labour, I would want them to begin to look in that direction. So that even the 70,000 they're going to give you will being used in the market. Because even if they give them 1 million and the economy is the way it is, it's useless. You end up not buying anything with it. It will not have any value. So one would request that they begin to let them start agitating for a better economy. You know, let's begin to come up with ideas and solutions and hoping the government will buy into them and then let them begin to implement such, and let's see how the economy can come up. Right now, we're having issues with as it affects energy. These are areas they begin to picket government. You understand? You know, begin to make moves, begin to mount pressures on government so that these institutions can come up, they can become more responsible to the people. Well, what I'm hearing this morning, I don't know if it is true about the Dangote refinery. Well, in fact, when I heard it, I was just laughing.
One day, one issue from Dangote refinery. Issue.
So I don't understand. So because everybody's hope seems to be on that Dangote. Okay, since our own 3 refineries are not working, let's see if this private sector.
They've promised us August, from July to August.
Yes.
Now the next one they will push it to next year,
to December. Before you know it, now to be to 2025. You know, okay, fine. Okay, let's be praying. Everybody is now praying. We've all become prayer warriors, hoping that Dangote refinery will come on stream, and let's see if he can start sourcing crude locally. You know, because when these other ones source crude, or when they import the ones that are refined, the landing cost. Right yesterday, it was said that landing cost of 1,117 naira or thereabout. So how much are they going to sell it? So let's hope that Dangote will begin to source crude locally and then begin to refine here, and then let's see if that will crash down or reduce the price a little bit, because our own 3 refineries are nowhere to be found. I mean, nothing is going on there.
They're working on it.
They keep, you know, it's infinitum. And so let's see if Dangote can come up. But today we are hearing another story that is obviously discouraging us. So these are the areas we want Labour to wake up. It's not just about agitating for a wage increase. Agitate for good governance. Agitate for better economy. So when that is done, I'm sure it will help us. And then let this money that is being paid to you, let it have meaning, let it have some level of value, so that when you go to the market, you'll be able to buy something. Imagine that 70,000 cannot get you a bag of rice.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I walked into Market Square with my family, and we were looking at a half bag of rice. This one, I don't know, this company, I've forgotten the name right now, it's 53,000.
Are you serious?
Sam,
this is threatening to us. Right?
Yes, it's 53,000. I was looking at it. I said, look at this thing is not full bag. So that means 53 times 50 plus 53 for you to get a full bag. So it's as bad as that. That means that the so-called wage bill the wage increase is more or less useless, if I use that word. So let's give government some level of pressure so that they can re-engineer the economy. They can come up with ideas that can help us to shore up the economy. Right now, the Naira is in a free fall. It's in a free fall. There was something we applied for recently.
Naira is even looking for where to land its feet. Yes. It has not stabilized at all.
There was something I applied for, not me, but somebody I know applied for it, and then he paid a particular figure. Yesterday, when he went online, he got online to see how he can, intimate. They said, that thing you applied for, after having gone to the bank to pay, he said it has increased. You have to add more extra money. After having gone to bank to pay. So they will not be able to register him for that program.
All right, gentlemen, let us not forget, during the negotiation and then agreement process, the tripartite committee that comprised federal government, private sector, and even state government's angle were there. I hope yesterday's agreement incorporated the interest of private sector and also state government. Before then, you got the position of state governors that there are states that will not be able to pay even as small as 60,000 naira or 62,000 naira. Well, we'll come back to that particular story, but we have joining us this morning virtually on Standpoint, a legal practitioner. Let us down our discussion on Edo State this morning. We have Barrister Chimeka Robert. A very good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining Standpoint.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ben, and good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, a very quick one. We were discussing something in the studio before we brought you in, talking about our election process, our political environment. A federal high court in Abuja reinstated Philip Shaibu as the deputy governor of Edo State. This is after he was impeached by the State House of Assembly sometime in April this year. Of course, the judge declared that Mr. Shaibu's impeachment by the State Assembly was illegal. He also ordered that security detail should be returned to Philip Shaibu, and his salary and allowances must be paid to him. Something dramatic happened yesterday in Edo State. We want to get a legal interpretation of this issue. Let us not forget that also the State House of Assembly filed for stay of execution. Can you please interpret this scenario for us this morning, Barrister Chimeka?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben. First and foremost, we cannot take away the rights of the State Assembly to impeach the governor or the deputy governor of a state as enshrined in the Constitution in Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. But that notwithstanding, that must follow due process. And that is exactly what Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court had done with regards to the judgment that was given. And what had happened in that judgment is that the State Assembly had not followed the due process. The law stated it very clear that a deputy governor or a governor can only be impeached for an act of gross misconduct, and that gross misconduct must, be tactically, must be very visible, and it must not be something that is done, for the reason of political vendetta, like we always say. But I must be honest that the court was very right in the decision they have given. From the activity that had ensued from the impeachment process in April till the judgment of this court, the Assembly never stated anything clear to show that Philip Shaibu had done that amounts to gross misconduct as enshrined by the Constitution. So Mr. Ben clearly stating, I must be honest to tell you that Mr. Shaibu's salary and his allowances, as it were, has to be paid because the assembly, state assembly in Edo State, did not follow the due process. Till today, if I may ask, have you seen on any print or on any news what exactly Shaibu did for the state assembly to have initiated an impeachment process against him? I have even while reading the judgment, I couldn't see anything in particular that was stated to be Philip Shaibu's misconduct that warranted that impeachment. By so doing, the learned justice was very correct to have given such a judgment, to have reinstated the deputy governor.
All right, Barrister, good morning. Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, good morning to you, Barrister.
I'm with you, thank you.
Yeah, Incorruptible Sam here. All right, with the explanation also, the time it happened, we did justice to that here in the studio. We are not, barristers.
Hello?
Like, we are not, can you hear me?
I can hear you, please.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
Okay, straight to the point now. That with your explanation, it means they got it wrong there. Talking about the
the assembly.
The assembly members. Now, are we going to say that the governor himself did not play a role in making sure that his deputy got impeached in the first place?
Thank you very much. You could be correct to say played a role, and that is what we call politicking. Everyone say a person falls out of grace, like we say in law, is no longer working in tandem with the ideologies of the governor. The governor wants to find a way to let him go. And the instrumentality of law that can be used is the assembly. By virtue of the fact that the Constitution has spelled that is the assembly in section 188, as I said earlier, that can impeach the governor or the deputy. But like I said, the governor must have, in every party, the governor has loyalists, and even in the assembly, they said that some persons and some members of the assembly are loyal to the governor, and by so doing, they will want to do the bidding of the governor. Now, but the law is sacrosanct. You must present a cogent reason that has been itemized by law to amount to misconduct, maybe embezzlement, for instance, or money laundering, as the case may be. Present it before the floor of the House, and that can stand. But for this single thing that they just tabled and they sat and said the deputy governor is no longer qualified and to become the deputy governor, that is not a reason in law for them to have gotten a valid impeachment against Philip Shaibu, the deputy governor of Edo State.
Okay, my second question. Is it not embarrassing? Is it not embarrassing that those that should know the law more are now abusing it? Knowing that, okay, there is no strong reason for this man to be impeached, but because they want to favor the governor, they now did something that obviously they shouldn't have done. Is it not embarrassing that our lawmakers these days even abuse the laws they should make?
Yeah, I quite agree. I agree with you, because it is quite embarrassing that those who make the law break the law. The truth of the matter is, they said he who pays the piper dictates it too. The lawmakers have relinquished their constitutional right of lawmaking and have gone to chase what we call what can go to their stomach. For so doing, they don't look at the dictates of the law. The law is clear. As a lawyer, I always tell people that the letters of the laws are clear and they are there for everybody to see. The governor can only induce an assembly financially, but when the law, the waters of the law is tested, justice will take its course. For Shaibu, this is justice. Whether or not the assembly had done the right thing or not, for the first time, I'm happy that the court is standing for justice, and for me, this is justice. If the stay of execution that has been applied, let the courts give a ruling on that. But for now, this is the position of the law. Yes.
All right, Barrister, let us come down to the angle of the State House of Assembly. They have filed stay of execution. As a matter of fact, something transpired yesterday in Edo State, where the APC candidate, governorship candidate, Okpebholo, and also Philip Shaibu at the airport were attacked. Now, there is no clarity on what actually led to that, because the government is now accusing Philip Shaibu that he implanted that, whereas Philip Shaibu and Okpebholo are now pointing at the government that they are responsible for this. Now, the government has said also that the stay of execution is still in place, that the House of Assembly filed. What's the interpretation of this one, Barrister?
Thank you, Mr. Bed. What the truth of the matter is that whenever there is a judgment, there is always reactions ensuing from the judgment, positive and negative. The faithful of Philip Shaibu will be happy celebrating that their man, being the deputy governor, has been reinstated. Then those who wanted him out of office will not be happy. So you expect a reaction, a counter reaction. So accusing Philip Shaibu for orchestrating his attack and that of the APC counterpart is it's propaganda, I must tell you. The man just got a judgment and he's going to be reinstated, salaries paid, including allowances, and he wants to attack himself. No. The truth of the matter is that the aggrieved party, which is the assembly, I will not say, because we're on public media, I will not say that the assembly had attacked him, but I don't agree with the governor that Philip Shaibu had orchestrated that, because it is known in Nigeria that after such decisions are made, some persons, some miscreants will not be happy about that. They want to show loyalty to the government or to the governor, and as such, or to their master, and as such will venture into things that will cause violence and things like that. I totally disagree that it was the deputy governor's team that had orchestrated that.
All right, Barrister. Yesterday outing, a very negative one, as a matter of fact. A police officer identified as Okon, attached to the All Progressives Congress candidate, of course, was killed. A number of persons were also injured yesterday. Let us look at violence in the electoral process in Nigeria. Why do we have this?
Well, election in Nigeria or electoral offices has turned to be a do or die affair in Nigerians since 1999. So it didn't start today. But the truth of the matter is that those who enforce the law have failed to enforce electoral violence. I've spoken about this in different fora, that if the enforcers of the law, which includes the police and others, the civil defense corps and others, have nipped this in the bud, it will even be difficult for even a politician to think about initiating any process that will cause violence. But like I told you earlier, the office, any political office in Nigeria has become so juicy that violence has become a political process. I won't say it's the way, it has become a political process. For you to win elections, people mobilize people to ensure that the other party does not succeed in the election. And this is against even the Electoral Act made it very, very clear that the election process must be free and fair. There is no point in no section of the Electoral Act that has stated that violence should be, a way of procuring public office. So I must, at this point, call on the Inspector General of Police, to carry out an investigation. It is not in our view to cast aspersions on who did what and how, but it is a thorough investigation from the police that can tell who are the persons who had caused that attack or caused violence, like you said. But most importantly is that we advocate for violence-free elections, and we'll keep advocating for peace. That one loses an election is not the end of it. We have precedents already that there are persons that have lost elections for 4 or 5 times and turned up to become president. So why must you kill somebody or somebody's husband or somebody's wife or somebody's father just because you want to gain political influence? Thank you.
This has happened repeatedly in our dear country, Nigeria, where we see violence whenever it comes to election in Nigeria. What is holding us down? Why is it that we have not been able to clamp down on this menace? We have institutions that are responsible to handle these issues, but yet these things keep happening. That's another question, Barrister.
Yes. Well, thank you, Ben. The truth of the matter is that the institutions, as it were, are also part of the problem. I've been on election duty in my state here in River State several occasions. It was while I ran for the Federal House of Representatives, my constituency. I realized that the security agents who are supposed to enforce this law are complacent in this thing. That at one point in time, they aid the movement of ballot box from one point to the other. And while journalists and spectators want to complain about it, some are wounded and some are badly shot. Not by assailants, but by security agents. Sometimes we talk about this. We've written articles on this, but the government has turned a blind eye because it's a process through which they get to power. You understand? So until they sanitize the agencies, which is the security agencies who stand to maintain peace and order during electioneering periods, then we cannot cope the issue of violence during our electoral process. The government itself had enabled violence to occur during electioneering process by not allowing the security agents to perform their constitutional rights. You understand? You mobilize a team of police officers to a polling unit, and at the same time, you do not want them, to perform their duties. In an election, the last election at the polling unit, the police officers were there and they moved the ballot box. I expected them to have followed suit. They did not. That they have not gotten order from their boss. So if the order has not been given, so the ballot box should get missing and the franchise of the people stolen. So you see, it is until the police exercise autonomy, I repeat, until the police, I said the police because they are in charge of civil peace and protection of properties. Until the police exercise autonomy and does not take instructions from the president, then we will have free and fair elections in Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Ben.
A legal practitioner, Barrister Chimeka Robert, thank you so much for your time on Standpoint this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Ben.
All right, gentlemen, we've seen the situation of things, and then Ondo State, we don't know what will be happening if this is transparent in Edo State. We're going to short break at this point. When we return, the microphones will be turned to you. Let us have your input on the issues we've raised this morning on Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Beauty is power. A smile is its sword. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is all around us. So, if you want to look good always, visit Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. It's new, it's exclusive, and the happening store in beauty products. We deal on perfumes and cosmetics such as body lotions, facial creams and scrubs, body sprays, powders, bath wash, and all kinds of quality cosmetics with affordable prices. Contact us at number 41 Fimbers Road, Umuahia, or number 28 School Road, Umuahia, all in Abia State. Call us on 0806 951 2773 or email us at wandsglean@gmail.com. Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. Quality is our name. Signed, management.
It is that time of the year again when we celebrate the achievements and milestones of our amazing learners. Meridian Heights International School proudly celebrates her graduating class of 2024. The venue is the Zix Event Center, opposite MTN Head Office, Aba Road, Umuahia. Date, Friday, the 19th of July, 2024. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Congratulations, Trailblazers 2024. Meridian Heights, the future is here.
Hooray! Unique Grace Ministries, the Unique Worship Center, cordially invite you to the birthday anniversary celebration of their Bishop-elect, Ugo Wosu, coming forth on the 28th of July 2024. Venue, Church Auditorium at Mbara Umuahia, off Health Center Road, Amuzuku, Umuahia. Time, 9 a.m. prompt. Distinguished guest of honor, Right Honorable Barrister Chief Okeze Kalo, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Chairman of the occasion, Honorable Barrister Chinasa Anthony, Member representing Umuahia Central Constituency. Guest of honor, Right Honorable Stanley Ohajiruka, Right Honorable Martins Azubike, Honorable Chief Tio Onye Ubani. Spiritual fathers of the day, Archbishop Chibuzo Opoko, Bishop Ugo Wems, and host of others. Come one, come all. It's from gratitude to glory. Courtesy Planning Committee.
Arrive alive. Respect traffic rules. Do not drink and drive. Do not drive and drink. Every life on the road is precious. Drive safely. Be attentive and ensure your journey doesn't become a tragedy.
Stop wa on our roads. Nwanne m onye abịa. Mata na ndụ gị dị ndị abịa mkpa. Kwụsị wa n'okporo ụzọ anyị. Drive safely.
This message is powered by Abia State Orientation Agency.
Ozia, Sinaka Abia State Orientation Agency. Na-abịara unu.
It's time to crank it up. We are turning it up on Rapid FM 96.5. The sound of your city.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example I may show you I'm leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Yeah, welcome back to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city. We are live on Facebook, that's at Rapid Umuahia, and also YouTube Rapid 96.5 FM. We've looked at election violence and the place of the people, of course, those situations in focus. We are still talking about the new minimum wage proposed and accepted by the organized labor, 70,000 naira. This go a long way. Let's get your opinion on these issues this morning. 091 60,000 965 or 091 60 333 965. Sam, I was trying to find out something. Let's get back to that discussion. The tripartite. I hope governors, on the other hand, will not come up to say that we can't do this, we can't pay this, we can't talk about this. But let's bring in our listener also while we move up the conversation. You're welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Moses Ben.
Welcome, sir. You're welcome. Your name and location, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yes, I said good morning, Moses Ben. Good morning, Incorruptible Sam. Good morning, Mike Obonai.
Good morning, Ike Obonai.
I'll see you.
Thank you. Let me talk about the minimum wage. It's a welcome development, but unfortunately, our labor leaders refuse to push for the government to address the factors that have triggered the inflation. Nobody said anything concerning our non-functionalities of our refineries. That is on one side. Let me talk about it though. I think the major concern for me is strengthening our electoral process. And that will help us to hold our leaders accountable, because once they enter there and know that they didn't impress the people, definitely it will haunt them.
Oh, we lost that call. You can redial the number. You're welcome to Standpoint. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome, sir.
In the house.
Greet you.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Jonathan, calling from Omaya Bender Road, precisely.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah, let me start on the issue of the 70,000 naira minimum wage, which has been agreed between FG and the Nigerian Labour Congress. It's a welcome development. And I want to commend the tripartite committee for a job well done and for the understanding. Because before now, Nigerian workers have been passing through hardship as a result of poor salary. The payment of 30,000 naira, which cannot take them home or put food on their table. Now that the federal government has been very magnanimous to increase the minimum wage to 70,000 naira, I want to commend them for that. Then I want to also appeal to the state governors to make sure that it is implemented, because a situation whereby 70,000 naira is agreed and some governors fail to pay it to their workers, I don't think there will be any industrial harmony in those states. So let them try to implement accordingly.
All right.
Then concerning problem between Phillips Shaibu and the House of Assembly, I want to commend the judge that delivered that judgment in favor of Phillips Shaibu.
All right, sir.
All his allowances be paid because of the illegal impeachment that was initiated by the House of Assembly, because there was no concrete reason for such an impeachment. It was done.
All right, your time. You've used the time, sir.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're expecting the presidency to transmit the decision, the judgment, or the agreement to the House for it to become law. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
This is the from Umaya.
All right, Loman, welcome.
Good morning, the sweet voice in the house.
We greet you, Lawman the Prophet.
Yeah. See, I want to let us know one thing. Labour have disappointed us. I'm telling you. Labour have disappointed Nigerians, disappointed the workers, because look at where they started, 6 something. Now, if you have agreed for 70,000, has the president decided to make sure the cost of goods and services is brought down? He has not said so. And if you see, go to the market, what about the petroleum pump price? So these are the areas where Labour tell the president, look at the areas you will touch. Then 70,000 will be okay. People will accept it. But if those areas are not touched, we cannot accept it. Now the National Assembly releasing that that is just a joke of the year. They know what they're supposed to tell the president to do, so that when they reduce their pay, it will now affect people positively.
All right.
Political violence has been there, but let nobody kill somebody because of politics. That will end one day. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We appreciate your contribution. Good morning and welcome to Standpoint.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
Welcome, sir.
Mr. Chijoke is my name. First of all, I want to say that my word is my word because labor in Nigeria has not represented Nigeria. Rather, they are talking about their own, which is what we said is a personal interest. And I also said that personal interest they are talking about does not, augur well with Nigeria workers. Because with the situation of Nigeria now, okay, look at beans. How much can you buy a pint of beans today in Nigeria? How much can you buy a pint of rice? Not to talk about one bag of rice or one bag of beans. So I am saying that I think labor should be talking about what I think that they should be doing is to talk about how our economy will come life again, how all refineries will start working. Because the whole thing that caused all this problem is fuel subsidy gone. And since then, Nigeria to cover themselves. So what I'm saying is this. Until labor begin to talk about what benefits Nigeria, we will not get it right.
All right, Chijoke.
So I am saying that, I'm rounding up by saying that labor have disappointed Nigeria. On issue of what happened in Edo yesterday, it's the same thing that some opposition, many PDP are trying to do in Niger State.
Let's just focus. The discussion is not all about Abia State within this context, but you can link your facts and your analysis points from anywhere. But let's not concentrate on Abia State this morning.
That's no problem, my brother.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate your contribution. 09160,965 or 09160-333-965. Let us keep talking to you as well as we get your opinion. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
You're welcome, sir. Your name and location, please.
Then Korotabo. From Umahia.
Good morning.
Hi, you're welcome.
As it depends, them is a sweet us. Yeah. Federal government approving 70K minimum wage. A very, very welcome news, especially to civil servants here in Abia State, because they should be happy we have a change of government. Assuming it was the previous administration, what we have had maybe after 1 week is that they've added 20,000 naira across all borders. So they should go back and enjoy. But I want to ask, this minimum wage, with the new autonomy given to the local government, will they be able to cope with it? Because 70,000, like a local government that has up to 3,000 workers, if you multiply 70K, you're talking about 2 billion naira. And I wonder the allocation that will be given to.
Oh, so sorry about that. We lost that call. Good morning and welcome to Standpoint.
Good morning, Moses Ben.
You're welcome, sir. Your name and location.
Good morning to your friends in the house.
I predicted you were going to call. If you didn't call, we'll end this program.
Happy weekend to you guys.
We'll end this program today.
Because of no time, whosoever knows the name, I'm calling from Umahia.
Welcome.
I want to congratulate our workers and Nigeria as large, all the civil servants and the public servants as well. They are still used to represent the public sectors, while NLC represent most times the civil servants. So, it's a welcome development. If peradventure they have agreed, the governor said that he's going to, our able governor, Dr. Alessoti, said that he's going to be among the first governors to pay anything agreed by Labour and federal government.
He said that several times.
Sorry?
Yes, he said that. He has said that several times.
Okay. Fortunately, Edo State governor has been the first because he's been paying 70,000 for over 5 months now. Then our governor should follow suit. And our governor promised to pay 15,000 wages to Abia. So Abians are expecting 85,000 for at least 3 months. Before if he is to continue with wage award. As some people say, the wage award, other governors have been paying it even before, since last year to date. Our governor promised to start it this month. Let it not be. After promise, they will now do it. Then secondly, let me rush on the issue of inflation in the market. Unfortunately, Abia remains the highest places that they say things more more costly than every other place in this country.
How did you get that fact? Have you traveled across the federation?
I've traveled and I have people living elsewhere in this country. I've gone to Abuja, I've gone to Lagos, I've gone to Owerri. Go to this pepper that they are saying how much in the market. Go to the ones that are produced in Abia State here, Ngwa, Ahofia, Abam, Bende. Go to market. Why? Because there are these security issues in the north. They were selling because people
so are you trying to say that the government is responsible, that Alex Oti is responsible for that?
No, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying inflation so that government will look into it to ameliorate, as in control the prices. And ourselves should help ourselves. We need to help ourselves. We are weakening ourselves. When you get pepper at your packet, they are selling 200 naira, a perishable good that can just perish tomorrow.
All right,
so we need to help ourselves.
All right.
We need to help ourselves. I mean, Abians, we need to help ourselves to ameliorate suffering that all of us are suffering in this country today.
We completely agree with you on that. We completely, solely agree with you on that. Do you know at times we go as far as punishing?
I pray that they are listening to us.
Yes.
Go to Oriobana, you weep.
You don't need to say that.
Just go to any market in this town. You cry for this. How we are weakening ourselves. Tomorrow they will tell you that we want Biafra. They should give us this. Are we not the ones that are killing ourselves?
Thank you, Semanode.
No problem.
We appreciate your contribution. Sam, I completely... Do you know that traders, they do it passionately?
If you don't want to buy,
go. If you see the ego they come up with, because at the national price of this thing is like this and all of those, even while it has reduced, nobody wants to effect it down here. It is not helping us, as a matter of fact. Let's just speak with this person before we round off. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
You're welcome, sir. At the location.
Ikechukwu, calling from Umaya.
Ikechukwu, you're welcome.
Then this labor issue and the inflation rate. The federal government lies. The presidency lies in labor and Nigerians. First, when minimum wage is now the yardstick of increment in petroleum and no longer the subsidy between the liver and the landing cost. We are more than, we should rise than this. We are more than, this thing they are saying minimum wage and they're talking like this. Most countries in the world, it reduces their poverty rate and not employment rate to this minimum wage.
All right, to get you go.
So that some sector will not suffer setback.
Okay.
So that their citizens will have purchasing power. And issue of the inflation rate is blame it on government, because in the agricultural sector, it's not enhancing the productivity. There are insufficiency of that product.
All right,
in the market. And when there's a demand and supply, when there's a high in demand and the lower in quantity supply, the price will increase.
Thank you.
But these are perishable goods.
All right, Ikechukwu, your point.
Much in the market, and the people can make alternative choice. Price will naturally be.
All right, you've actually used your time, Ikechukwu.
Okay.
And we appreciate you. On our Facebook page, USA Elvis, you are saying live from Umah here. Also, let's hope it will sustain the poor masses who are struggling to cope with hardship, hunger, and high inflation ravaging the country. May God help Nigeria. Thank you so much. Incorruptible Sam. I go Bonaya.
Yeah.
Happy weekend.
Yeah, happy weekend. And for the last point he made, who say man no day? That's the color of the week.
Enjoy.
No, let's give it to him.
Yeah, we give.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Jesse.
David, the MD of Zosa